right, everybody, welcome. I can't believe it. It's already day 3 of the Content Convo Convert Masterclass interview series, and I'm really, really excited to be here just talking to you for a short amount of time. There's been a lot that you've learned over the last few days if you've been watching the interviews. So in this short Facebook Live, it's going to go 20 to 30 minutes. We're going to have a couple of contests. There's going to be a few incredible prizes that I'm going to be sharing with you in a minute. I've got a few announcements to make, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about how you can take everything you've learned so far and implement some of it. But before I do that, as always, just say hi in the comments and let me know whereabouts in the world you're watching from. One other thing that you can do is if you're watching this live, just type the number 1 into the comments. Then I can see everybody that's actually seen this live. And if you're watching this on replay, just type in the number 2. And again, when I go back later to check, I will be able to do that. So most of you, I'm going to be able to see your names, but if you haven't authorized the app, the StreamYard app, I'll give you the link, and I actually posted it inside the Facebook group earlier today. I won't see your name, and I'll just see you as Facebook user. So if we can, we'll be able to interact better if you can authorize the app. If you can, don't worry if you can't, it's absolutely fine. I'll be able to see in the Facebook group later, but go to streamyard.com/Facebook, streamyard.com/Facebook, and there's just a little button you need to press, and that just allows the app that I'm using to be able to pull up your name. So in my comments on my other computer right there, I'll be able to see who you are and what you're saying, because at the moment, as I said, it's just coming up as Facebook user. So many of you are telling me whereabouts in the world you're watching in from. We've got John. Good to see you, John, from New Zealand. We've got somebody, unfortunately, I can't tell at the moment because it's coming up as unknown user, but I can see somebody in St. Louis, Missouri, which sounds fantastic. We've got New York City. We've got, where are we? We've got New Jersey. We've got Athens. We've got South Dakota. South Florida. So it's interesting. I was here at the moment. It's been about -4. I think it was -6 the other day. And actually, for us here in the UK, that's pretty cold. One of my clients, Cleopatra, I'm not sure if Cleopatra's on. If you are, say hi. She was telling me not long ago in Buffalo, New York, I think there was like 6 or 8 feet of snow. And I'm thinking that is taller than me. I'm 6 foot. That would have taken, gone straight over my head. So I was pretty impressed with the amount of snow that you guys have been getting recently. So let me just tell you a little bit more about the prizes that we have on offer today. Number 1 is a 30-minute coaching call with Robin Smith. If you watched Robin's interview yesterday, you'll have learned more about content creation, planning, and scheduling. So Robin is going to be offering a 30-minute call, which has a value of over a couple of $100, a 30-minute call to help you with your content creation. So I'll explain how you have the chance to win that. Just by being here will give you that opportunity. And then the second thing, if you've managed to watch Bob Clark's interview from earlier today, then he's got a free, I will say free, it's not free, but it's part of this contest that we're going to be having. It's actually $97 worth of value. There's 4 videos where he talks more about full-time pay to part-time work. So how can you earn a full-time income by working part-time? And those are going to be on offer shortly as well. So let's have a look. We've got Bessie coming in from California. John says Robin's interview was great. We've got Alexis coming in from Arizona. We've got Facebook user coming in from Pennsylvania. All right, so let me have a look at what I wanted to specifically discuss with you tonight. So before we dive into kind of the core of what this Facebook Live's about. And it's interesting because, in fact, let me just share this with you first, and then I'll talk about what I was going to share. So firstly, tell me in the comment section, what have you enjoyed so far? Which interviews have you been able to watch so far? Which speakers have you enjoyed? Let's kind of do this as a bit of a backwards and forwards, because I'm just sitting here in my room. I'm just talking to the phone. Essentially, I'm looking at my keyboard, so I get to see you typing in. But let's just do this as a bit of a back and forth. And one of the reasons for this Facebook Live specifically is to bring um, to help Facebook realize that you want to see more posts from inside of the Networking Superstars Facebook group. I don't know if you know how Facebook works exactly with regards to the algorithm, and it's very interesting that if somebody doesn't take part in a Facebook group, for example, and they don't comment or engage on the posts, then within about 4 or 5 days, they stop seeing posts from that group. And obviously, as you're going through the Content Convo Convert Masterclass interview series, I'm sharing a number of um, additional resources and takeaways and contests and prizes, etc., inside of the Facebook group. So by you taking part in this now, and leaving a quick comment here and there and interacting backwards and forwards with me and each other, what you're going to find is you're telling Facebook essentially that you're interested in this, and therefore Facebook's going to show you more posts from inside of the group. And if you think about it, how many Facebook groups are you actually in yourself already? More than likely a lot, probably 20, 50, maybe 100 or even more. And then ask yourself, how many notifications do you actually see from those groups? More than likely, it's the groups that you're interacting with and that you're engaged with. So really, really important there. So Vessi says she liked all of the interviews so far. I'm glad that you've managed to watch them. Um, Facebook user. I'll find out who you are later. I apologize, I can't now. It's just the software that I'm using. You do need to authorize the app first. And I did post it in the group. So if you saw that, great. If you didn't, as I said, it's okay. It doesn't matter. I'll be able to find your name later. Buzz, hey Buzz, good to see you. Says they're all pretty good. So keep the feedback coming in. John, good to see you, John, Mark Harbert, Robin Smith, and Chris and Susan Beasley. I'll do a short recap on the sessions shortly as well, just to remind you. And the key really with this is you're going to learn a lot of information from a lot of people, and it is literally like overwhelm. It really is. And you have to go it's one of those things. It's a weird thing in business and in life. If you ever want to learn a new skill, firstly you've got to go through the learning process. And firstly, we don't know what we don't know, so there's no problems there. There's no worries. We are pretty much content. It's like ignorance is bliss. And then all of a sudden we start to realize what we don't know. And we're like, oh my goodness me, there's all this information. I need to learn this and personal branding and automation and sales funnels and capture pages. And, then there's Facebook and TikTok and Instagram and YouTube. And then there's short videos, there's long videos. And all of a sudden it's like, wow, this is chaos. I just feel completely overwhelmed, and experiencing information overload is often what people feel at that point. But that is part of the learning process, and it's really important to understand that that's part of the process, because once you get through that, and at that point what usually happens is, well, there's two choices. You either push through it and you keep going and you break through it, and then all of a sudden everything starts to make sense, or you give up and quit. And sadly, the majority, this is why in so many business opportunities and network marketing and other things online, is people never get to the end goal because they give up too quickly. So they get to the point where it's frustrating, it's overwhelming, there's too much noise, and it's like, how am I ever going to do this? And then they stop and they go jump to something else because it's exciting to jump to something else. It's like, oh yeah, let me try that must be easier, let me try this. And give something a couple of weeks or even a month or a couple of months and jump to the next and jump to the next and jump to the next and jump to the next. They never go through, they never realize that actually you have to go through the difficult times and the challenges and like I said, it's not a word I like to use that often, but in this context it's useful. Overwhelm. When you feel overwhelmed and like there's too much, you are on the edge of a breakthrough. And if you can remember that, amazing things will start to happen. Keep pushing until you get through that. All right, so let me come back to what I was sharing with you. So I've got a few announcements that I wanted to make with you first. The first one is that the VIP Access All Pass will be ready for you by the weekend, and I'll email you your username and password for those of you who had purchased the VIP Pass. Um, every time an interview goes live, I'm basically taking that interview and putting it in the back office. Now, originally, the VIP pass was supposed to go live at the end of the entire 14 days. However, I've had a few people saying, can I access the replays now? Can I get the information, etc. So I'm putting that together for you, and it should be ready by Sunday. And I'll send out an email to everybody that has the VIP Access All Pass. So you probably all noticed this, and you may not, because it's so easy to miss information, in a few different places. That the interviews are live for 24 hours, and then at that point they get taken down. They go into the members area for the people that the people that want lifetime access to those. I can give you the link for that if you haven't managed to get your VIP pass, and it's contentconvoconvert.com/VIP offer. Maybe take a screenshot of that now or just write it down, because I'll take it away in a second. But contentconvoconvert.com/VIP offer. And you'll find it in the emails, you'll find it under the videos, the interviews, etc. as well. You're welcome to pick it up if you'd like to. You don't have to. This is a free series, but if you did want lifetime access to go back over the interviews at any point, you can do. All right, so that was the first thing I wanted to talk about. Let me just have a look. So Teresa, I can see you now. I certainly can. So you must have just authorized the app. Thank you for that. Rena says she's in about 20 different groups. That's probably quite small compared to some people. I would say that's actually quite low. But yeah, really good to notice that we are in a lot of Facebook groups. I'm kind of bouncing around the comments here, but Alexis says it's true that some of us give up too easily or jump around. We must address the hurdles and break through the fear. Yeah, it's really big. I mean, strategy is everywhere, isn't it? Ultimately, um, Vessi says she's inspired to look into short YouTube videos because it was mentioned, which is great. Yep, YouTube Shorts are really powerful actually, and it's amazing how many views you can get on them. Similar to TikTok, similar to Reels. Let me have a look. Facebook user, sorry, I don't get your name there. Just, but it says, I wish they were all available for more than 24 hours. I totally understand, I've 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 tried to keep them for the 24. I mean, they're always available for the 24 hours, and I totally understand and get that many people can't watch them all, and there is that extra level as well. So if you did want to watch them at any point later, I mean, we've still got 10 more days of interviews. We've still got some amazing people to come. So just go through what you can. If you've only got a very short amount of time, you can, if you look underneath the video, when you're watching the interview, there's a little gear icon and a little settings icon. And if you click on that, you can speed it up a little bit. So you can speed it up to 1.25 or 1.5 or 2. So double speed. Obviously, it takes a while for your brain to kind of get used to it, but it's amazing that all of a sudden you start to hear the interview going at this speed, and very quickly your brain starts to pick up and understand what people are saying. So you can watch it in double time if you wanted to, and always go back and slow down the bits that you really want. And I do that often with trainings, not normally twice the speed, because that is a bit crazy. Kind of everyone sounds a bit like a chipmunk at that point, but that's definitely a possibility. Oh, that's interesting. So if we've given StreamYard permission to do it, do we have to give it again? It looks like you do. To be honest, I thought that this works once. You need to give permission once, and then every time you use, certainly, I think it may be per group. So if you've done it in the Networking Superstars Facebook group before, then you should be absolutely fine. But if you haven't, if you've done it somewhere else with somebody else, then it looks like you may need to do it again. So yes. Hi, MJ, John Spain, Rena, many friends in here. Fantastic. All right. Um, let's have a look. All right. So next that I wanted to talk about is, sorry, I've got my notes in front of me. Yes, I've got, sorry, my printer's kind of packed up at the moment, so I've got my notes on my screen that things I just wanted to talk about. But usually I'd have it printed out, and I'd have a nice printout, but my printer stopped working. I think the ink's dried up for some reason, so I need to get that fixed and sorted. So the second thing that I want to talk about, and as I said, we're only going to be here for about another 10-15 minutes, and we'll go through the contest in a second. But the second thing I wanted to talk about was problems and challenges. Now, many years ago, my dad said to me, try to think of a problem as something different. A problem often is something that we struggle with and we can't necessarily it gives us a dead end in our mind. So try to think of problems as challenges, because you can overcome challenges, you can break through challenges, you can push through them, you can challenge yourself to get through challenges. So business and life, we are always going to have problems, or challenges, as we like to call it. So you'll see me talk about challenges. Often I'll talk about problems as well, just because I know that other people resonate with it. But it doesn't matter what you do, you're always gonna have problems or challenges, and it's part of the growing process. You have to find ways. Honestly, from 20 years of being in business online and having a full-time business, I would say that business is about problem solving. We're trying to solve our own problems and challenges and tech struggles and issues. And he's like, well, how do I get more leads? How do I convert them into more sales and signups? How do I do this video? Where do I post it? It's literally problem after problem after problem after problem, or challenge after challenge after challenge after challenge. And that is what happens. Or also, it's solving other people's problems and challenges. It's identifying your perfect audience's problems, which is obviously what Chris and Susan Beasley were talking about in their interview. And it's being able to have your product or your opportunity as a solution to those problems, which is huge. Um, that's not what I wanted to talk to you about. What I wanted to talk to you about is this event has had a few challenges so far, and some of you know this already. Some of the links haven't worked, which I've sent out another email today to give you the links that had worked. And one of the things that I'd said in that email was, technology is interesting because we've all got different devices. We've got iPhone, we've got Android, we've got iPads, we've got computers, laptops, and then we've got different browsers. Opera, we've got Safari, we've got Chrome, we've got Internet Explorer, and each one works differently. And not everything works the same, which from a business owner's perspective or a marketer's perspective, that's quite frustrating. So some of the links I checked myself, some of the speakers had checked the links and they worked absolutely fine. And then all of a sudden, somebody else comes along with a different device on a different platform and the link doesn't work. And I've had this problem over and over again over the years with different clients not being able to access certain things. And, we're doing our best ultimately to fix these challenges and fix the problems as quickly as we can. So that was one of the issues that we had. A couple of I think one of my clients had also said that one of the videos had scrambled and she couldn't unscramble it. So it was kind of all pixelated. She could hear it, but she couldn't see it. And I didn't know whether that was a local problem for her browser or whether other people had experienced that as well. So, any problems that you have, one thing I didn't actually do, I didn't add the email address, but again, I've sent it out in every email. Send a support ticket to support@networkingsuperstars.com, just to report whatever the challenge you may have or the problem that you've got is. So support@networkingsuperstars.com. And one of the reasons for that is if you leave a comment on Facebook, honestly, it's just going to get lost. And if you send me a message on Facebook, my inbox is just so full right now. There's message after message after message from people saying, great event, loving it, thank you, questions and feedback. And it's just getting quite difficult to keep track of everything. So if you're if you need help, contact support@networkingsuperstars.com. Otherwise, it's probably going to get missed. And as much as I want to help you, sometimes if I don't see something or if I don't notice it, then there's nothing we can do about it, unfortunately. So let's come to the contests. So let me come back down here. Okay, Nicola there just says she's sorted the StreamYard out, which is great. All right, so, sorry, I've got my notes again, and yeah. So the first contest, I want to keep you engaged ultimately in this with prizes. So we're aiming to put prizes out on a regular basis. It may be daily, it may be other day. There's not going to be any predictability to it. But if you visit the Facebook group on a regular basis, on a daily basis, you'll see that there are contests and prizes to win every single day so far. So usually it comes down to me asking you what has been your biggest takeaway from the speakers for that day or for the day before. Um, so today for this contest, for to win a coaching call with Robin, a 30-minute call to help you with your content creation or planning or scheduling, what I would like to do is ask you, and I know I've asked you this a few times, but I really want you to think about it because it's really important to think about this, and that is, what has been your biggest takeaway or golden nugget or idea that you've had from watching any of the interviews so far? If you've watched one interview, share what the thing that stood out to you was. If you've watched two or three, then which one stood out the most? And when you do this, and I was doing a coaching call with some clients yesterday, and I just said to them, I said, what have you enjoyed the most so far? And, I had a few people like kind of think and like, and then all of a sudden they remembered. And then it snowballed, and it's like, oh yeah, when I watched Diane's interview, she was talking about the autoresponder and how to broadcast to many people. And then, he went on to talk about something else, and then something else, and then something else. And all that information that he'd taken in from watching the interviews, whilst it was kind of in the back of his mind, now all of a sudden it was in the forefront again. And there's a really powerful saying, and that is to teach something is to learn it twice. So if you learn something, take it and teach it to somebody else. Create a video about it, create a blog post about it, create a Facebook status update about it, create a short video about it, tell somebody else about it, talk to one of your team members about it. Because when you take something you learn and then you teach it to somebody else, you basically learn it twice. And there's information everywhere. We have to start to take the information and process it so we can then use it in our business to further our business. So if you could let me know in the comments, what is your biggest takeaway so far? I will then go back through this Facebook Live tomorrow morning, and I will announce the winner of the 30-minute call from Robin for content creation. So and the more detail you can give me, the more chance you have of winning as well. But at the same time, I also just want you to take part. So even if it's one word or a few words, that's absolutely fine. And then we've got one more contest in a second, one more prize that we will do. So short YouTube videos, which is a great takeaway in itself, really powerful, very quick as well. And Mark talked about short videos. Again, they could be TikToks, they could be Reels, they could be Shorts, they could be on Instagram or Facebook, but it's a really powerful process because they can be 60 seconds or less. They're simple to do. You don't have to waste hours trying to get the lighting all perfect. Often with those types of videos, it's more just the raw type of videos tend to work best because people want to see authenticity. They don't necessarily want to see something staged and perfect with everything looking great. Yes, we do want to look our best as much as possible, especially in front of our audience, but at the same time, you don't necessarily have to set everything up that way so they work really, really well. Nicola says, mine is so far to stop procrastinating and just go for it. Don't be spammy, be yourself. Find your avatar and speak to them, provide value. Brilliant, really well said. Facebook user, I will get to see your name tomorrow, but it said, I love the way the Beasleys broke down the specific details of who their prospects are. I really enjoyed that actually as well. And I've done this exercise many, many, many times, but I really love the way that they explained it and the worksheet that they've given. And based on having coached for many, many, many years, my own clients, I often see how many people don't really identify who their perfect audience is. It's like, I've got a product and I've got an opportunity. I'm going to target everybody and anybody. The problem with that is it's difficult to know what to say to everybody and anybody. But when you understand your perfect audience and you can create your content directly to them, they go, yes, they're talking to me. I get it. I can feel it. I understand it. all of a sudden there's a connection there, and that's when you understand their pains, their problems, their challenges, their desires and aspirations, all of a sudden you can create your content and you can speak directly to those, which is so powerful. So really good there. Defining my target market using myself as the root starting point. Yes, brilliant, love that. So yeah, yeah, and again, we talk about this quite a few times through the rest of the series, and that is that we are usually our perfect prospect. But 6 months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, how did you used to feel before you found the solution to whatever the problem was that you had? Again, really powerful. I like what you just said about to teach it, you learn it twice. Yeah, really good, really good. John said his biggest takeaway is that you don't need to create original content. You can use inspirational nuggets from others. There you go, exactly. So what I didn't catch your name there, but you know talk about, if you wanted to, you could literally go to Facebook now and you could just say, to learn something is to teach it twice. And you can give credit to where it came from originally. You could take a screenshot of this and you could say Gavin just said this, or you can spin it in your own way. You can share it as unique original content, but with your own spin on it, and that gives you content there. So as John just said, put your own spin on it and personality before passing them on. Yeah. So there's a couple of ways to do it, and sometimes I like to. It depends who said what, and you can't just go tracking everything and say, oh yeah, this person said that. Let me credit them for it. I think if you put your own spin on things, it makes things a lot easier that way as well. So as you're watching these videos and interviews, take little nuggets and write them down, and then share them. Create a video about them. However you want to do it. So I'm going to start this next. I'll go through the other comments in a second. I'll start the final um, contest or prize that we're going to do. So what I'm going to do is this is going to be for Bob Clark's full-time pay, part-time work, and it's a $97 course that he has. I think he said that there were 4 specific videos. Now, I don't know exactly what's in the videos. I have not watched them, but I do know that Bob has been around for many years with his business. He practices what he preaches. He does what he talks about. And I knew him when he had a full-time job and he was working for somebody else and he was building his business on the side. And I also know that he gave that job up in order to build his full-time business, and how he did that is powerful, because he was busy. He had a lot going on, but he still managed to grow his business around his life, around his family, around his day job, around his hobbies. So there is that there. So we've done this game a few times before. I am going to think of a number. In fact, I'm going to write it down. It's going to be between 1 and 1,000. Between 1 and 1,000. You've only got one guess. I've also had people try multiple guesses at this, but one guess. So what I'd like you to do is type into the chat which number you think I'm thinking of between 1 and 1,000. And the closest without going over will win. So if you get it right, obviously, as long as no one else did, you're going to win. If you are a few below and everybody else is miles below, you're going to win. So think of a number. I will write it out now. I'm not sure if this is the same number I did last time, but if it was a couple of years ago, so nobody's going to remember, I don't think. So think of a number. I'll give you a couple of minutes to type this out. So this is going to be an instant winner now on the call. The other contest that we did before with the takeaways, if somebody's watching on replay later on today, they have a chance as well. But right now, we will. I'll keep going for a second, and I'll come back to you in a second. So whilst you're writing that out, Nicole says, I liked when Robin talked about when she posted a picture of a place that she was in, Atlantic City. The picture started a conversation. Yes, powerful. It's amazing. You can just create content wherever you are. So you snap a picture, upload it, or wait until you get home. Alexis says, knowledge is power. Learn, teach, and share. However, take action and reap the rewards of your work. Using other models as templates is wise. One can adapt to their own goals, dreams, and visions. Really well said. Facebook user, again, apologies, I don't see your name, but I'll see it later, said, I need to learn more about rapport as Erin teaches. I tend to shy away from conversations. Really good to notice that in yourself. Really important. And this is why this whole process is content, conversations, and conversions, because all three are equally important. With conversations and messenger, for example, because conversations could be on the phone, or they could be in messenger, they could be in direct message, however they want to be. But we teach, or I teach, to my clients, and I've got programs that go into a lot of detail about this. We talk about the CAS method, for taking people through Messenger, warming them up and then enrolling them into your opportunity as a team member or selling a product. So the CAS method is something that I developed myself after enrolling over 1,000 people in multiple different opportunities. And CAS basically stands for connect, ask, solve, sell. Connect, ask, solve, sell. And you don't just go straight in there and say, hey, do you want to join my business opportunity? Or hey, do you want to buy my product? Because you're basically talking to everybody at that point. What you do is you take people through a warming up process, you build the rapport, you ask some questions to find out their pains, problems, and challenges and what they're looking for. Then there's a way to transition that afterwards. So really great takeaway there. So let's have a look at all the all right, so all right. So we've got, what have we got? So we've got 499, we've got 642, we've got 540, 100, 7, 333, 599, 1097, 587, 848, 700, 700, 234, 55, 777, 456, 505. So some really good guesses. So this is what this is it. So there you go, 777. So someone hit it right on the head. I can't see who that was. So if you could just type your name in there. As I said, I will see that later anyway. And when I go to Facebook, I'll be able to see the real names. But at the moment, it's just coming up as Facebook user. So whoever said 777 is the winner of Dr. Bob Clark's full-time pay part-time work. And I will get that. Ben Bruce. Okay, brilliant. Great. If you could send me a private message on Facebook, just find me in the group and just send me a quick message and just say, I'm the winner of, and then first thing in the morning, I'll be able to go back through, and as I process my messages, I'll reply back to you as well. So congratulations to you. Really good. So to be honest, that was all I wanted to do today. I've really enjoyed this. Actually, I was thinking, who's going to be on, how many people are we going to have, how much engagement are we going to have, and I've been I'm really impressed with your feedback on everything that's happened so far. So this is a huge event. A lot of it's taking place in email. We've got over 1,000, I think there's 1,100 people registered. We've got over 170 VIPs, which is, honestly, it's incredible, the scope and scale of this event. A lot of it is inside email right now. So not everybody's in the group, not everybody's on these, but I know the people that are, and the people that watch these on replay tend to be um, the people that are, going through diligently as well. So if you've got any questions, make sure you contact support@networkingsuperstars.com. Thank you so much for being here. And I'll let you know when the next Facebook Live will be. There probably won't be one on Friday, but there will be one next week, maybe two. I don't want to take too much of your time with these. I want you to watch the interviews ultimately. So whatever you can do to watch those and take action and implement, that would be great. So thank you again. And if you need anything, you know where we are. I'll see you soon. Take care.